Ask and you shall receive. What is up, guys? I am that boarding school dude. Welcome to another episode. Listen, I've got your emails. I've got your messages. Where have you been? Are you not doing videos anymore? What's going on? I'm about to kill myself. I'm back. Guys, look, I had to take the summer off, okay? I do that, okay? I'm that guy. Let's get right into it. St. Paul's School in Concord, New Hampshire. Let's go. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Listen, like I said before, I had to take a little break, okay? Summertime, kind of COVID coming off the end of it. I just got my 8th booster shot. I'm growing a 3rd leg. And now, final crowd to this case. That's what she said. Anyway, let's get into it. St. Paul's School, located in Concord, New Hampshire. I'm not going to give you a ton of, prologue to this episode. You guys want the goods, and I'm going to give it to you. Let's get right into the meat and bones. Okay, so St. Paul's School. All right, here we go. St. Paul's School, located in Concord, New Hampshire. Okay, this school ranks in the top 20 of all boarding schools in the country in highest percentage of boarding students, large financial endowment, highest endowment per student, low acceptance rates, most extracurricular activities offered, and high average SAT scores. Wow, that's pretty well-rounded. We like that right out of the gate. So let's see, they offer grades 9 through 12. It's co-ed. It's an Episcopalian school. It was founded in 1856, and the campus size is a whopping 2,000 acres. 536 students, 45% students of color, 15% international students, 100% of the students board. I like that. Average SAT score is 1376, and they do not offer a post-grad year. But they do offer Saturday classes. And more, I'm finding that a lot of these like New England boarding schools, they like to do that, half day on Saturday, half day on Wednesday. I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. 73% of the students of the faculty have advanced degrees, and they do not offer a summer program. Their endowment is $743 million fucking dollars. Woo! Domino motherfuckers. Say about that. Okay. And the tuition is $62,000 per year. 40% of the students are on financial aid, and the average financial aid grant is $56,000. Wow, what a deal, man. But you're not getting in anyway, because only 15% of the applicants get in. So anyway, let's get right to it. St. Paul's.
Welcome to this tour of the St. Paul's School campus. I'm really excited to show you around, so welcome to St. Paul's.
Okay. Love aerials. Nice blend of new and old architecture. I like that. Somebody comment down below. Let me know what the old architectural style of their buildings are. Kind of makes me think of like Queen Anne, but.
Right now we're approaching the Friedman Community Center, and this is a cool building because it used to be an art gallery. So the exterior fits in with the beautiful red brick buildings of St. Paul's, but the inside is a really cool modern spot for students to hang out. And it's not so much a study spot for students, more so for groups of kids to gather together, have a little bit of a break, eat some food, things like that. So it's a really cool spot for students.
Nice.
Now we're heading into Nordstrom Library, which is actually one of my favorite buildings on campus. I would usually come here most nights between the hours of 7:30 to 9 p.m. to get my work done because
typical study hall hours.
I usually like to separate my room space from my study space, and a lot of students do choose to do that as well. I will mention that St. Paul students...
Well, let me just mention before you mention whatever you're going to mention that I'm noticing that on this video, it's kind of choppy. Are you guys seeing that? It's like their frame rate kind of stinks, but whatever. Okay.
Have quite a bit of homework, but you're usually able to get it done within
See that
time period. There's also an optional
The hell's
study
going on?
hall if you are someone who really needs that quiet and someone watching over you to make sure you're getting that
I'm just noticing right now in this video, their logo. I love their logo. Their logo is awesome.
done. But otherwise, students can choose to use Nordstrom Library as often as they'd like to during the day and the night.
Oh, and I'm sure they do use that day and night. Studying, group projects, making out. Guys, I know what you do, okay? I was once at high school or at boarding school also, okay? So don't think you're pulling a fast one on me. I know what happens during study hall.
So along this path, I would like to point out Clark House right here, which is our health center. And that's where students go when they're sick or they need to pick up medications of any sort. And we have a medical director who's on call 24 hours of the day.
Good.
If he's not actually in Clark House, we will always have a nurse on duty. So if you're ever feeling...
It's like they're about to do like surgery in there. You know, listen, at the first boarding school that I went to, when you were sick, you went to this like thing very similar to this. It's called the infirmary. You know, who would have thought? I have so many amazing stories from these like, you know, places where you go to like get treated when you're like not at home and you're at boarding school. I had like a really upset stomach one time. I was in like ninth grade. I got sent to the infirmary. Well, they're not like RNs, you know. It's not like an emergency room nurse or whatever. It's just like a nurse or whatever. LN or LPN or whatever they are. I had an upset stomach. She gives me a blast of kaopectate, right? It did nothing. Like I immediately ran to the bathroom. As soon as I came out of the bathroom, she gave me 2 more shots of kaopectate. Okay. 10 minutes later, I'm back in the bathroom. Okay. Feel awful. As soon as I come out, she's standing outside of the bathroom door with the bottle and the spoons. Okay. And I'm like, I mean, how much of this kaopectate am I going to drink? Like maybe I'm just sick, you know? Long story short, I ended up drinking because she made me. I drank half a bottle of kaopectate like within 2 hours. Okay. Lady should have probably been fired. Anyway, let's keep going.
Then you can go right over there and they will help.
Very quickly, at the second boarding school I went to, we had this other like building where you would go if you were sick. It was called Walker House, right? So at Walker House, you know, look, if you have an upset stomach or something like that, you know, most places they'll tell you to drink ginger ale. Well, they would store all the ginger ale like inside this like the reception area. So people would just, you know, go down there. Somebody would divert the nurse. Somebody else would come in, walk away with a case of ginger ale. I mean, look, these are the type of things that you think are like really funny and really entertaining when you're like away at school. Looking back on it, you're thinking to yourself, wow, like maybe it wasn't that fun. Like, man, that's like, I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, and then as we keep going along this way, here's the old chapel. And back when the school was first founded, there weren't many students, and so they would hold all of their chapel meetings right there. But as the school grew, they obviously needed to accommodate more and more students and faculty. And so we moved those chapel services into this beautiful building over here.
Nice. On a lake. I mean, that is just picturesque.
Welcome to the Chapel of St. Peter and St. Paul. So this is where chapel services are held, which are 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday for about half an hour.
Oh my God.
Between 8:30 and 9 a.m.
That chapel's like really nice. Let me just come right out and say that. That is like a beautiful chapel. Very big on like, you know, amazing religious buildings. They just, you know, they just look like they take pride in like the things that they built. I've actually been to Windsor Castle, and I believe the chapel inside of Windsor Castle, I believe it's St. George's Chapel. I'm almost positive about that. I've been there. It's amazing. This kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I don't know. I might go as far to say that St. Paul's has the nicest chapel I've seen out of any boarding school yet so far. So, looking good.
And chapel isn't necessarily a religious service, although we do try to
Of course it is.
incorporate different hymns and prayers, we bring in a lot of different ideas and speakers who bring a lot of thought to the table. And it also gives students a chance to talk about their clubs and give a
I totally forget her name when she introduced herself in the beginning of this video, but she looks like an Emily or like a Lauren or like a Bailey. Am I wrong? I think that like those three names totally fit this girl.
announcements, and we'll hear about things that are happening during the day. And I love chapel because it's a chance for the entire community to be gathered together, and it's a great way to start off your day.
Nice campus. That's like up there in New Hampshire, though, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure it is Concord. It's up. Well, actually, it's not too far up there, but it's still cold.
Behind me is Schoolhouse, where all of our humanities and languages classes are held. For languages, we offer French.
Is that a Chinese flag? I mean, come on. Do you really have to hang the Chinese flag? I mean, it just already reinforces that this idea I have in my head that like secondary schools in the U.S. are just breeding grounds for like communism these days. I mean, it's completely unacceptable. Oh, by the way, today's election day, 2021. Get out there and vote. All right, let's get these commies out of public office. This is just nonsense.
Spanish, German, Latin, Greek, and Mandarin. I took French and absolutely loved it. I loved it so much after my first 2 years that I decided to take a year and study abroad in France for my junior year.
Oh, love it. Listen, good for you, Bailey, okay? I've been to France. Let me tell you something. That country is awesome, all right? I don't care what anybody says. Paris? Sign me up, okay? I tore Paris a new butthole, okay? Figuratively, all right? I rock that town.
Small, and the teachers are really inspirational, so
I tried to leave, and they're like, "Where are you going? Like, aren't you?" I'm like, look, I gotta get home.
Recommend that students delve as far deep into those language programs as they can. And the humanities are equally as incredible, and they're all set up around a Harkness table, which is just a round table where the students and the teachers
a round table where you can't hide from the teachers. That's what they should call it.
Together. But instead of the teacher standing up and lecturing at the students, it's a discussion, and so students are recommended to engage and critically think. And I think that's a really integral part to what St. Paul's is all about in terms of thinking and community.
Okay. I did notice everybody at that table had a MacBook. All of my equipment is Apple. Actually, today I just bought a 24-inch top-of-the-line iMac. I'm that guy, so yeah.
Right here is the Lindsay Center, and this is where all of the science and math classes are held. Our math track at St. Paul's usually begins with geometry, and then we go to Algebra 1, Algebra 2, pre-calc, and calculus. For me, math was definitely not my strongest point.
Me neither.
But especially after my
Actually, that's not true. When I was like a kid, I scored in like the top half of 1% of all math students in the nation. I'm kind of smart. I'm kind of a big deal also. But when I got to high school, I remember sitting in the like classrooms and listening to the teacher babble on about Algebra 2, and I was like, no, I'm good. I think we're just gonna skip over this and go right to what the hell was the next one? Oh, I don't know. I skipped like a lot of things. I didn't even take chemistry in high school. I was like, you know what? It's really not in my game plan. I'm gonna go right to physics. I did.
I learned to see the world through a mathematical lens, and I learned to appreciate the subject for what it was, not just...
I just had this conversation with a buddy the other day. I honestly do not know one person out in the professional world, and I talk to a lot of people. Okay, I don't know anybody that uses Algebra 2. Now I know that you guys, they're out there. Okay, I know you guys are out there who use Algebra 2 in your careers. But for as much as they harp on that in high school, I don't know anybody who uses it. So
looking at
Just
numbers,
saying.
but really being able to problem solve and put that together. Every student is required to get to a certain level of science, so usually it goes physics, chemistry, biology. The sciences are really interesting because it's
Wow, look
very
at that.
hands-on.
That's pretty cool. There's like a giant Nazca. Well, that's got to be Earth Science, right? It looks like a freshman class. Earth Science, or maybe some sort of geology. I don't. Whatever.
Approach.
Cool though.
I didn't really consider myself much of a science student coming into St. Paul's, but because it was so engaging, I really learned that I love the biological.
She looks like a violinist, doesn't she?
Because the classroom
Or like
is
a
structured in such a way that
flutist.
there's the classroom section where the teacher gives their lecture, you take notes, but then you can move over into the lab section where you actually are able to experience what you're learning. There are any number of really interesting things that built up my love for science. And I loved every part of this building. It's really innovative in every way possible.
She's well spoken. She's kind of growing on me a little bit.
Right here is the St. Paul's Fine Arts Building. So every student is required to take a full year of some art, and if you choose...
Come on, guys. Can we, I mean, we got to film this in a way where we don't see the lens flare. Come on. This is amateur hour? First the frame rate, then the lens flare. Come on. Hire me, you know? Knock this out of the park.
As fine arts, and this is where you would take it. So we have your classic drawing, painting, photography, but if you want to explore different types of fine arts, then we also have things like ceramics or glass blowing or sculpture classes. So anything you're interested, you can basically explore here.
It's pretty
and
cool.
I've really seen students flourish in the fine arts and fulfill potential that they didn't even know they had. And that's mostly due to our really fantastic art teachers. In terms of art, we also have music and dance programs. So for music, you can choose to do non-credit lessons or lessons for credit. And students also often choose to be part of the orchestra or ensemble. And they will perform throughout the year ceremonies, which are really beautiful, and the whole school enjoys hearing them play. And we also have an incredible dance program.
I think I've heard her say, and we also have at least 25 times so far.
So we have the BC, which is a ballet company, and those students are doing dance as their athletic as well as the class, and they do a really great job of integrating their dance education as well as their academic education. The ballet company and the dance classes perform multiple times throughout each term, but you can also choose to do dance as your art. St. Paul's also has a really strong theater program.
Terrible edit.
You can choose theater as your art, so you can take it as a class. And we also have 3 performances during the year. 2 are produced by teachers, and the one in the spring is produced by 6th formers or students who are in the production class. And they're really incredible performances.
So just because I'm, very well versed in like the theater world, I saw the Danish flag in that production. Then I saw a sword fight. My powers of deduction are telling me Hamlet. I bet $1 million that was Hamlet.
Because I've seen some really amazing actors and actresses come through St. Paul's. This is the Crumpacker Art Gallery, where there's a beautiful space inside that showcases different exhibits that are either student or teacher or from an outside artist, and that work is displayed for a certain amount of time, and students can come in and view that work and be really proud of what they produce or the teachers produce or learn from those other artists.
This is completely like non-St. Paul's related, but I was just recently in Miami 2 weeks ago for work. And the hotel that I was staying at had an art gallery inside of it. So I went and I checked it out. I like to expand my mind every now and then. And, I have to say that some of the pieces were cool, but then I looked at the prices of some of the art in there. And it was like $50,000 for like this, thing that I feel like I could make in like one afternoon. It was crazy, I don't know, when you're spending 50 grand on like a piece of art that looks like a child could make it, I don't know, man. The whole world is going nuts. So campus is nice. I like it a lot.
This is the St. Paul's Athletic Institute.
I think I saw a big red like bush or something. St. Paul's Big Red. I don't know. We'll see.
Fitness Center. It has a full-size pool,
Red.
multiple gyms,
Okay.
where there are basketball courts that double as volleyball courts. There's also a wrestling room, a cardio room that has a weight room attached, and we also have brand new indoor rowing tanks, which are really cool, and the rowers absolutely love.
Whoa, St. Paul's getting in on the indoor rowing tanks. Who had the indoor rowing? Deerfield. That's right. That's who had it. Wow, man, that's pretty ballsy. Let's go.
And we also have indoor tennis
And we also
courts.
have. And we also have.
Anything you could possibly need.
And we also have.
In addition to the AFC, the campus holds a variety of athletic spaces, including a boathouse, 2 ice rinks,
What?
Courts, 9 athletic fields.
Oh, let's go, Brandon.
Turf field, a full-size track, a football stadium, and finally an extensive trail system for cross-country running and Nordic skiing.
Whoa, wait a minute. This is really giving like Deerfield's athletic facilities a generous run for their money. Uh-oh, I'm sniffing 9s.
St. Paul's is one of the few schools who has 100% boarding, and so dorm life is a really important part of that. And so our dorms are set up pretty in a different way than most schools because we have all different years in one dorm. So a third former could live next to a fourth former or a sixth former or anybody from any grade.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, integration is good, but listen, I remember one year, like I lived next to some older dudes and they were a real pain in the ass, man. You know, coming in, taking our food out of our fridge, taking our drinks. It just, you know, finally got to the point where like, you know, tempers came to flare.
I love that because it allowed me to interact with students who I probably wouldn't have otherwise met. And so the older students gave me really great advice in terms of academics or social or sports. And so I loved having that rapport between
like some of their rooms.
The other students, and it made it feel more like a community. Starting out, third formers are usually placed randomly within one of the 19 dorms across campus. So we have 9 male dorms, 9 female dorms, and 1 all-gender dorm that students can apply into. Another integral part of the St. Paul school life is its faculty. So faculty are more than just teachers. They're also your advisors or your coaches. And you'll see them in the dorm because often their houses are attached to your dorm. And
often you'll see them in the dorms because that's like one of the requirements of getting hired. Oh, you want to teach here? Great. You're also going to be a dorm parent. And they're like, okay.
Come in at night and maybe bring in their kids or their pets, and you can interact with them in that way. And I really love that part of St. Paul's because you built these relationships where you weren't just a student, but you were also an athlete or an artist or any other thing, and you can learn how to joke with them and see them in their full lives. Have that.
It's a pretty good, well-rounded really video so far.
Your time here, and I found really lasts even when you leave St. Paul. So I really love that part, and I think that's an important part of the St. Paul school community. On behalf of the entire admissions office,
pretty impressive.
Thank you for joining me on this.
Look at that campus. That campus is awesome, dude.
We're sure you have lots of questions at this stage, so if you haven't already, please fill out the inquiry form on our website and schedule an interview with us. We would love to answer all your questions and learn more about you.
Wow.
I hope you enjoyed this tour, and we're looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Man. Wow, leaving no stone unturned in this video. Wow. Certainly making an impression. Guys, there you have it. St. Paul's. Oh my God. Like, you know, generally in these videos, like I don't even really do too much prep. I may watch a couple minutes of a video beforehand to kind of like, you know, get my feet wet. Nothing. I did nothing for this one. I just jumped straight in, didn't even watch it, just said, this is what we're going with. This video is a year old. The virtual tour, I think that was the title of it. man, I mean, look, that school looked awesome. I mean, that campus and like the facilities and tough to get into, very expensive, healthy grant if you can get in. Man, wow. I thought Deerfield, like, their facilities were amazing, and I mean, a lot of other ones are amazing as well, but this campus, dude, that is nice. That is a really nice campus. I mean, like, man, if you got in there and you also got into like, I don't listen. That's a hard decision for you guys that did get into St. Paul's. Congratulations. That place looks like it's fucking awesome. So, anyway, let me get right to it. The dude score. St. Paul's School. Man, listen, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just going to do it. 9.6. 9.6 for St. Paul's School. I mean, that is big time right there. I mean, listen, not my favorite marketing video per se, but like, I've seen so many of these that like I have a really good idea of like, what the school's probably like. That chapel, the dorms, the facilities, they're on a lake, they're next to a wooded trail line thing. Like it has everything. I mean, sign me up. Okay. St. Paul. Wow, man, love the logo. Not much that I didn't like about it. Not much. I mean, yeah, it was very just kind of like, hey, here we are, blah, 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 blah. They didn't really take any like big chances with the marketing video. That's why I didn't give it like a 9.75 or 9.8, but man, wow, super impressive. Guys, anyway, I am that boarding school dude. Back from hiatus. Thanks so much. See you for the next one.